Your channel. Damn right, I want to view it. Oh man, like I'm glad I get commercials now, but it is definitely a doggone nuisance when I'm trying to watch my chat. Rough Rooster, what's up, bro? CJ Craft in here. Heather B, as always, what's happening? CJ Craft says, what we making today? Today I'm going to be working on this worktop. This is the second one of these I built for this bench. The other one's a little bit smaller, and I like it. But that one's really suited for making canes. So anyways, I just decided to make several, and this is number 2, and number 2 is basically just a big rectangle. It's got a leg that goes into my vise, another leg that supports it on the bench. It's heavy enough for me to stand on. That's all my body weight. And it's a good work surface for me attached to my bench. I'm gonna try this earbud and see if I can get connected with y'all a little bit better. Because I talk low, I recognize it. I'm gonna try to. How's that sound? Rough Rooster says maybe make another mallet. Yeah. Oh, he says, I think I may make another mallet. Yeah, you totally should, man. Y'all should go check out Rough Rooster. Like, he is a sharpening dynamo, but man, I did that shop tour with him, and I was so impressed. Like, there's nothing like a guy who makes all of his own stuff. Like, that's my kind of dude. Anna says, people are on these live streams are mad bored. I don't know. What does that make you? You're bored enough to watch boredom? I'm confused. That's a good idea, Wes. I'm going to use my buds on my next live. Dude, I have been, for months, I've been like looking over and trying to figure out, because I bought like a little microphone, whatever, off the internet. You plug it into my phone. It does great. But you couldn't control the volume. It was always a very hot mic, if anybody understands like kind of how audio goes. So it was always way too loud for my fairly thin, fairly low voice. And I got these cheapos at the probably a dollar store or Marshall's or something like that. And I was like, I should try those. And boom, way better. Way better. And better than me yelling every time I'm, less than 2 feet away from my phone. So, I think this is working for me. CJ Kraft says decent. I'm not bored, Anna. Just support my man's West. That's right. Maybe I'd be bored if I weren't. Flossie says Rough Rooster knife sharpening. Yeah, Rough Rooster dope. CJ Kraft says just talking smack. Why is an old man in lives? Says Lily. An old man? Hold on. I'm the oldest man. Not just an old man. I am the oldest man. I am the old man that the young men wish they could be. Because Because I'm still all the young man good, but I got old man experience. Sup, Flossie? Heather B says, Lily, are you single or double digits? Oh, snap. You about to get it. Chat does not mess around in here. A bunch of thugs in here. I'm looking for a good friend in here. I can't seem to find him. Every scroll here meets yelling Filipinos or stoned Mexicans. Anna, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. If you're running from Mexicans, I hope you get out of here. I hope you get out of here. Heather says racists don't deserve friends. Man, listen. More old dude shit. You live in the world you create, right? You live in the world you create. And if you create a hateful world, you'll live a hateful life. You won't live like a better life. You'll live a hateful life. If you live a giving life, a loving life, you will live a giving, loving life. Period. So I don't let somebody kick me off of my love life for their racism. Like, how many friends can you have? And if you got them, they gotta be dumb as you. Y'all not gonna be good at anything. But thanks for showing up. Your comment gives me credit on YouTube, so thanks for helping me. CJ Krabs, hope of the kind that'll set her straight. I don't even understand what's happening, man. Not in a racist way. Every time I've ever heard somebody say that, it means something else. Or it means exactly what you said. You don't have to interpret language in English. Type everything you type. All right, we're going to go ahead and get this off, get our surface started. Look at me talking shit. I'm getting these people riling me up. CJ said I'm just head back to the crochet and listen in. Typing before coffee is a chore and a half. I'm trying to tell you. Where you at, CJ? You must be on the West Coast or somewhere in the middle of there. I've been done with coffee for about 3 hours. Anna says, I appreciate your kindness and pure attitude. I'm from a country and region where mainly GRT racism. I apologize if my comments insulted anyone. Have a great weekend, everyone, and a heart. Well, that was nice. Way to turn it around, Anna. Way to turn it around. You have a great day, too. So whatever way you can go do it, I wish you well. But I'm going to shoot up all this right here. I just be trying to tell people, I don't know if they get where they walking into over here. Like, everybody over here sharpen knives and make mallets. Or the wives of dudes that sharpen knives and make mallets. You think these are going to be people who are going to be tolerant of nonsense? Sheesh. I hope the sound isn't too disturbing with this heat gun down here. So what I like to do is just kind of heat it up, get that glue a little bit activated. It might have been too hot there too long. No, I'm still good. And then I'll just puppy scratch it off. Tips of my fingers are fairly tough due to what I do for a living. Belly button fishing. So I can kind of do this, but you can let it cool down a little bit more, but the glue will still roll right off. But the heat helps it because it's all underneath this sawdust that got collected by it. But you'll get whatever surface you put it on initially right back to what it was. And the heat also helps keep the sticky filmness from happening. It just rolls right off. Did I handcraft the African necklace pendant? Yes, I did. I cut it with the coping saw, and then I used chisels to go around it, and then I put sandpaper to it, files to it, until I got the right shape. I apologize to Madagascar, but I do have a tattoo like this, like on my whole abdomen, and Madagascar is there. So Heather says we got matching heat guns. Does that help the carpet tape stick better? No, it helps it come up a lot easier in the way that I like to get it up. You can also really just scrape this. You can use like a chisel, and you can do that too, right? But for me, I've got time today, so I am I don't know what you even call it, maybe a fidgety type of person. So I kind of enjoy stuff like this. Roast Rooster said, I believe he said it was a gift, Heather. Oh yeah, no, I gifted my daughters two necklaces that I made that they weren't like this, but they were a little smaller. They were hand carved. One of them was a notebook pendant that would open up, and we put a little note inside for her. And the other was a little ace of spades card and a little heart, and that was for my other daughter. But I did get a microphone as a gift from Mike is Making Stuff, and I did get some emulsion from a good buddy at Knife Sharpening. He's a knife sharpening channel. I'll try to drop it in the chat after this, because I don't know why I'm forgetting his name. I keep wanting to say somebody I know it's not. Calvin says Wes always got the best chat, hands down. I don't know about that, Calvin. You got a pretty good chat going. People will come in here and get riled up for a second, though. I guess I do have the best chat, because y'all really do show up. Y'all show up. All right, let me get the surface good. You could also put the degreaser on this, I guess, and not have to use your kung fu hands to get this out. But man, I am rained out again. Atlanta weather is so unpredictable this time of year, and I fully expected to be finishing the job today and starting another one tomorrow, and this rain is not going to let me do either one of those things. And I was like, oh, I'll just go out, dodge the raindrops. It's not stopped raining long enough for me to load anything up, so I know I'm not going to go pick up material in this stuff. So, driving me a little stir crazy. So I am home getting what I would be praying for otherwise, which is daytime in the shop to do whatever I want, catch up on some stuff that I needed to do. So that's what we're going to do today. Not going to be little whiny snitches. We are going to be productive members of this workshop. It's a socio-emotional roller coaster and some woodwork. That's funny. Oh my God. Kung Fu hands. Now I have a new skill to work on. School dude, you got to start like in 1970 something to get Kung Fu hands. Man, it's crazy cool up here in Tennessee. The leaves are falling here, dude. Isn't that crazy? That started happening. We just had like autumn out of nowhere last week. Like my yard is full of yellow leaves. And at the same time, things are going to go up. Oh man, I missed Rick's comment. Scoop Doobie says, hey, where's Heather? Everybody else just hopped in to learn about Kung Fu hands in the making. Right on, Rough Rooster. There's a line here. It says, Dad's Workshop. Well, I'm glad to have the defenders of my line in here with me. This is always a good thing. All right, y'all, I'm going to roll this thing over on the side a little bit, see if I can get a decent angle, but I mean, I got to plane all four edges of this. This is a recycled. Y'all know I'm a remodel contractor. I say that like a real southerner. Does anybody say remodel contractor? Or does it say remodel contractor? Every time I say it, I feel like I'm saying like having the pecan battle. How do y'all say it? Pecan, pecan. Man, I'm getting a bunch of calls today. All right, we're going to get up on our side. So anyway, this is all like leftover stuff from countertops that I built or vanities or whatever. And now, I got to figure out how to make it feel good and look good on the sides and the top surface, because I don't like to look at other stuff while I'm working. That's why I hardly ever have the selfie cam on my face. All right, so let's just lock that into our little bench, our vise here on the little West Desert bench. On this one, I'm going to put a couple screws down here. I don't usually do it, but we are going to have some weight on this thing. So we'll be moving stuff around. We want to be able to hold on to it. Now, where the frick is my rando screws at? This will work. And rando screwdriver. Now I've already got holes in here, so all I usually have to do is just add a couple screws, hand tighten them in there. It just keeps it from left to right wiggle. But overall, I'm not as worried about it jumping out of there. But these screws will keep it from doing anything, usually. And then we can get right back up to plane level. And we'll start with this side since that's where we at. I don't know which one of these planes I want to use. What is it? Oh, this is the old Harbor Freight one. I've got a video I'm going to make about this thing. I'm going to put that away. It wasn't happy. I got rust. Let me sit that there. That's fast that happened. That's the Buck Brothers. That's the Craftsman. And that's the Stanley we sharpened last time. I think this is the one we'll work with. This one was the handyman kind of version. I think it was. Maybe we should back that up. I always just come in hot off the gate. That's my problem. I am going to occasionally jump over, check out the chat though. This thing is the same on all sides. I think I probably cut this on the table saw. Now, this bench, I've got a little footrest back here on the back that I can stand on. And if I need to put a little extra, you know what I'm saying, on it to keep it from moving or wiggling or whatever, but you can see I'm not having much problem with that. But I can put my foot back here to kind of keep things cool. Start advancing this forward a little bit. Oh, I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. This is a butcher block, so it's so dense. And the grains change every so often because of these finger joints here. So sometimes the wood itself abruptly changes direction entirely. And going up grain is different than going down grain. Not being able to predict it is weird. Laptop a little bit out of Now say the subtle difference between this Stanley number 4 and my other Stanley number 4 that's I think World War II era, is that the adjustment back here is much finer on that one. This much of a turn on this plane is enormous. On that plane, you've got a lot more room in between, so it's a much more finer turn. So I think when you get down to more sophisticated wood than I'm used to working with, that's going to matter. So, because even on this one, it matters. Now, I don't want to say the wrong one, but I think it's the one I got from the Harbor Freight one. I think that one appeared to have a lot of movement and adjustability, but really it has a lot of slop. So you can turn it quite a bit and think you're fine tuning it, you're not doing anything, and then you keep going and then you'll make contact and it'll move forward like a lot, and then you'll gouge your wood. Like that. so weird how quickly this changed. But look, I'm also getting stopped up because I'm not doing proper maintenance. That's not good. If that's happening, you definitely got an issue. You definitely got an issue. Look at that. This is one of those, like if this were a relationship, I would say, you know what? This is all my fault, not the planes. I should have known better. What I should have done is check this thing out. But I like to just grab tools and work with them, you know what I mean? I'm going to tighten it up and see if I got a gap in between that chip breaker and the blade. And because my light is right in front of you, we'll do it together. Oh man, there's so much light in between those two. All right. So what I'm not gonna do is sharpen this thing this second because I got others and I already got one task, but we'll make this task number 2. We can chalk it up to poor workmanship on the tooling. We can remedy later. Now this is my English mate Stanley, number 4. I think 1940, maybe 40s. This one. We'll start it this way and give it a fighting chance. I'm sorry I can't see the chat until I stop. Oh, this is so much better. Thank you for loving me. Thank you. I'm gonna butcher block. I'm gonna butcher block. That's a much better sound. Sorry, I didn't do that in your ear. But oh my God, I love that sound. Okay. This way. This is like, this is where in the musical of my life that they'll put together one day inevitably. This is where the Idris Elba of whatever that timetable is, when they make this film of my life, that's when he'll be like going to song. You know what I'm saying? It'll be kind of a Rick Moran moment. A suddenly Seymour before West does it. Falling for an English made tool that just weren't expected for it to turn into this. It started out as routine work, suddenly escalated into romance. How many of y'all were alive when watching movies in the 90s? Because in the 90s, people were fascinated with falling in love with inanimate objects and robots and stuff. There was so many of falling in love with a robot movies. It was crazy. What are y'all doing? As a kid, I thought it was crazy that Tom and Jerry were after the same girl. I said, what are you doing, bro? What kind of woman is this? this up a little bit so that we can get a thinner slice out of this and get it to smooth. Now that we got it to relatively flat. And we just kind of till I hit something, and it's just gonna come with me. But we are getting the results, ladies and germs. And this is good practice too. If you have not ever had a hand plane, this exercise is really good for you. Because it's going to be bad until you can control it. It'll get weird and awkward over and over until you develop a decent technique. You calibrate your tool better. And that's how you learn. That's how you get better. A little dip right here. That's going to make me be honest. No, I do not have a jack plane. I am aware though that like a number 7 or number 5 would be so nice to have. But if you got one, tradesies. I got 5 of these. I don't need 5 of these. I was planning on working out today. We did it this morning. It's getting there. I got this little gouge I gotta get though. And I gotta knock all this stuff down to get to it. When I do it, I make another little micro gouge behind me. And then I gotta go back and get it. I end up with the same surface either way. I just be doing. I didn't mean to hit you. I apologize. It's just that you make me so mad. Just kidding. Okay. That's a good surface right now. Let's check our toolage. That's proper. Right? There's no junk in there. There's a little bit of, oh, and that ain't even in there. It's just laying on the lip. So that's what we want. That's a properly set up tool there. You might have been my favorite right now. You're so beautiful. So beautiful. All right, we can flip it. We'll do the long side again because this end grain is going to be ridiculous. I forget y'all are in my ear, not over there on the camera. Be grunting in you. I mean, to grunt all in your earpiece. Not bad. We're gonna back this plane up. Not like that, but like this. And pull back a little bit so that blade is not grabbing. Oh wait, am I going the wrong way? Let's see what we're doing here. Let's look and see. Oh, we gotta adjust. So again, we're going to pull that blade back. So it pretty much disappears behind that sole. So now it's just the sole of the plane. And then we'll just move it a little bit till we're hitting something, but not a lot. If you're making furniture, you got time. All right, now that we hit something, we'll back that up a little bit. Now, I don't know how other people teach. I kind of try to get myself in sort of a horse stance, right? Your body's centered right over the hips, straight back shoulders, right over the legs. So the feet, the hips, the shoulders are all in the same alignment. Just do it sideways and I turn my feet slightly. And I'm in a position where I'm doing that with my hips, not just my arms. Because your hips can do this a lot longer than your arms can. And who knows? I could be doing it wrong. I could be telling you wrong. Try it out for yourself. This is always the best way anyway. Get a lot of information. It's all free. Get there. That was going a lot faster. Try to get these burns off and this marker out. This over here is just kind of a gouge because that's where that kind of wood broke off, and that's like center pulp. So that's not gonna, I don't know if that's the right term, but that's what it is. Because this is finger jointed, I don't know what species this is, but there's a lot of it. Some of the pieces aren't going to be ideal, which is also nice because now you have to have a sharp tool. That is what we got. In the words of Pauly Shore, buddy. All right, that side's done. I'm gonna look at my chat. Rooster says, I know them triceps are burning. Yeah. So Baby Kids says, Wish I was cleaner than my room. Yes, man, please go watch more of West's videos and see what he's been doing for years. He's not charging. Rough Rooster says, I'm far from ignorant. I'm OSHA 10, 20, and 30 certified. And that's something you clearly don't have. Common sense. Man. Somebody is in here flexing and riling up the crew. Diamond cut steel in the building. This is who I was talking about earlier. You sent me free stuff from Lace's Cutting Edge Lace Everyday Carry. He sent me these for free ski. That's dope. I got something lined up for him though, real soon. So let's turn this thing around. Now, have we hit a limitation in our vise? Let's see. Maybe. Leg. That's not bad. Or do I need to move that out? Here's what I should do. If I set it up there, I get about 2 good inches of bite that way. And I'm biting on the wood, not the bench. That's good. It's way the hell too high for me. But we can try it. No quitter. No quitter. Dominic Steele says that's weird. It's not clickable. I'm gonna go hop on live. Y'all take it easy. All right, Rough Rooster. All right, y'all hear where to go if you get bored over here. So now, I'm just standing on top of my bench because that's the good thing about kind of overbuilding this bench. It is mad sturdy. So I'm standing on my bench, chopping in grain with a hand plane. And a wood cane, it's insane. I didn't know I was a freestyle MC too, did you? Didn't know West Does It can bust it on the MICZ. That might be the old manish shit I've ever said in life. I think what cracks me up the most about old hip hop. Uh-oh. Starting to wiggle out that vise a little bit. Hold on. At the most, Snoop Dogg was a gangster for 2 years. He was a rapper by the time he was 17. He was rich by the time he was 18. He been getting shook down by Suge Knight from then on. And every time he tells them stories about industry stuff, he talk about how scared he was. I'm like, how are you making gangster music though? I mean, I'm with it. I got it. Be scared. I mean, that's not crazy. But stop making gangster music then. Goofball. Go back to Snoop Lion. Now, I don't know if this side, this end grain is flat, but I do know it's been compromised because I've got I don't know if this is mold or what right here, but it's right here in the end. I guess that's mold. Just sitting on the concrete on its side for probably 2 years or better. My fault. Keep telling you, don't stand behind me while I'm working. Kids. So we're just going to knock that down beyond it. And this is
thin slices, because what I don't want to do is gouge it in big chunks and then have to do all of that. I don't know if I'm going to put a finish on these. All right, we'll do the other side. That's 3 out of 4. What if I set that one on the floor? Try to lock it in this way, maybe? Oh no, and then I missed that whole piece. Now I'm relying on the bench again. This one's got a huge couple of kerfs in it from the table saw. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be all right. Don't worry about nothing. Let's see what we got. Flossie, what's going on? I'm glad to see you in here, by the way. Mark Gaddis, Venom, what's going on? From Texas. We all doing good in here. How you doing, man? Welcome. Thanks, Calvin, for welcoming in the new flock. Now, if you turn your scriptures to page 277. Trying to knock this little mountain off this edge right here. Almost. Whew. This thing grain is beating on me. That right there might come off better with a file or something. That's a good bit of material to try to knock off with the end grain. And these. This is a moderately precarious position. Yeah. Just not getting enough proper holding. Let me grab a F-clamp, slap it on the bottom and strap it to the table here. Maybe one of these upstairs in the room. And we'll just tighten that bad boy in. One more pinch out of it. Make sure I'm good on the other side. And now we're pretty much locked into that bench. I always think 2 clamps is better than 1. Now here's what is happening as well is I'm going to chip this edge off this corner. I've already nicked it and it looks dumb already. I think I'm going to chamfer it or something. But I got to get this big, I don't know if you can see that, but the saw blade stopped. It was at somewhat of an angle. It's right here and I got about, I wouldn't say quite a 1/4 inch, but close. Material where it just jumps up. And I got to be kind of aggressive about it. Guess I could go the other way, but I don't know if I'm going to get the same leverage. Should I be reliant on leverage at all? Shut up, Flappy. I don't even know if y'all can see what I'm trying to get out, but that's it. That cut. Got it better. It's getting better. It's still there. I gotta get that flat. I mean, I'm still being a compulsive, but at least you'll understand why now. And I really should have just approached it different. Should have. Could also approach this differently as well. I get a nice enough taper on the side. I don't necessarily need to be flat. I just want to look flat. And sometimes smooth will do when you can't get to flat. Now this wouldn't do for the top surface, but for the side, the desk essentially. You got to live with it. All else fails, ladies and gentlemen. Lower your standards. That's the... What up, Mike? Where'd you come in from? The old coot. Oh, damn, I keep calling people old. Mike is younger than me. Dang it. I need older friends. Jesus. People that can relate to my knees and my back. All right, let's see. Let's see. Once you're an Englishman in a plane. That's not where I'm trying to hit. Oh, I'm not standing on this thing. Back it up. Even more. Yeah. Got flaps on both ends. That's what she said. I don't even know what that would mean, but it sounded clever and fun. Alright, put some glue on these little side flappers. What kind of glue should I use? Oh, dang it. Gotta make another hole. Hold tight. I know I got a hole making machine somewhere. Where'd the tip go? Oh, okay. Oh, the hole didn't go. There's something else over here that we can poke with. That's a bloody hell. Sounds creepy in a British accent. Big glue there. Super glue. Probably a little bit to let it sink in and soak. Hit all the crevices. On this side as well. Crack some crevices inclusively. And then we'll put a clamp on it. If you love it, then you should have put a clamp on it. If you like it, you should have put a clamp on it. Oh. I didn't think you'd hear that shit today. Now it's going to be in your head all dang day. Algorithm's going to get you. All right. Good for that. And then we'll do some sanding on our surface here. But first, let's get these trip hazards back on the wall. Planes back up. Get the eye gouge 2000 out of the way. And the shin splitter 1200. Rip off this bench. Mike's talking about animation. CJ says when it comes to perfectionism of crafting, I most certainly did not. Yeah. You did not expect this joint. All right, let me move this. I got it sitting on my mallet. I got my mallet sitting here as a wedge to kind of make up the gap. Move that. I'm gonna put this back where it's supposed to be because that's what I should always do. Mallet out. And go right back into right. I think I want to give myself a little more sitting room here. Right. We're back to our desktop. Now we just gotta get our, let's get that over. Grab and still be on the side out of our way. Alright. Now we gotta figure out how to get this desktop back nice. Like it flat, it stays relatively flat. We should put some sanding on it. See if we can knock it down to smooth. We do have a little epoxy here, a couple other little things here and there. I don't think anything that we need to run any planes or anything over, but maybe nice. Or we can try the traumatic housing right here. See what it'll do. It's been a while. This is an automotive buffer with a Velcro plate, and that just so happens to be what these take. So let's see. That is working great. So great, in fact, I need a mask. Jesus. Save me, Seymour. Let's see. I'm in the opposite direction. My mask right here. Must have moved them around in stores. Old man business. Where did I put those masks? Whippersnapper. I know I had them somewhere around here. And now I can't find them nowhere. Somebody probably came and got them from around here. I seriously don't know where my masks are. I got like a brand new pack of them. A big old fat gas mask. Chops. Guess I'm gonna have to do it old school. It's been raining, so I can turn the fans on and I can open the door up. Blow this debris out of here. All right, here we go. I'm not saying that that was amazing. I'm definitely not saying you should do it. I'm just saying that was fast, and I'm glad I did it. It's super flat. That worked out. Some high-speed sanding. CJ Kraft said it works for now. Running joke around here, works less online, and I am the she who said the thing most of the time without realizing it until it's out of my mouth. I hear you. What's up, Robert G? How you doing? I didn't even realize you were in here. Yeah, I've been busy working. So, let's see what this looks like. Those. So we got a good surface all the way around on this thing, I think. Nice and flat. functional. 2 thumbs up to the power sander. All I need to do is get a bigger disc, I think. Slap that boy on there. Worked out. For now. Rob G said he's been listening for a while now, working on some stuff. Oh yeah? What stuff? You know we nosy. We do business if you bring stuff up. What stuff you working on, G? Jefferson says, good day to you and other followers. Thank you, Jefferson. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Come hang out again if you want to. Sorry I'm looking off camera because the laptop's over there. Let me adjust my hat. There you go. Now they'll come in. That's the problem. My hat was askew. Alright, we'll grab a couple more things offline. So we got the desktop kind of worked out, like in record speed. We should put a chamfer on this all the way around though. And I don't trust myself with a router in this kind of circumstance. So either we go with the plane or we go with a sander of some sort. Gotta go chuck hay bales on a little bit. Sound like work, man. Oh, dishes, LOL. Gotcha. Both of those things sound like work. Mike says, do it. Do it now. I'm right here. Come on. Grab that router. Don't be scared. My router is not a little router. My router is a router. I don't have a little hand router yet. But what I do have is a chamfer plane, and I'm not afraid to use it, Mike. Better me with a good time. Cradle. This thing is held up. I'm so proud of it. Somebody built one of these online. It's nice with the weather out. I had to change my daughter's car's catalytic converter out. It's electric. Over the weekend, it was freaking horrible doing that. Anyway, this is what I was talking about. A little chamfer plane. I built that. These are magnets. So that little thing sit right there in that cradle. And ride these edges, baby. I'm hoping that CA glue's set up already. That should be enough time, right? Maybe we won't try to chamfer those edges just yet. Can't do these. Let me just go with the width I'm already at. Like these so much. Let's see if I can get you a slightly better angle. Lazy man thinking. Sorry, y'all, I'm kind of attached to the table right now. cutting is pretty much done. That's what I got. Pretty happy with that. You see it? Let's clean up chamfering. Alright. Let's hit another side of this thing. This is a easy. I did this on a live, or did I do it on a short? But either way, I made this thing. It's crazy simple. I just recessed some earth magnets in there, and I just drew out around the shape that this thing was. And this is just random metal. You don't have to cut in this particular pattern. This can be straight across. This is just the randomness of the metal I had. So I made this side slotted and this side slotted so you can close it and adjust it by just moving these screws. And then you can tighten this up or loosen this up and make it wider or narrower depending on the chamfer that you're after. And then I just super glued this up here, I think. I haven't had to do anything to it since. And it works. I got that off Temu for like $3, like 6-8 months ago. Whenever I started doing this. And now, chamfering, finger joint, end grain, butcher block, and getting consistent. Look at it. Just when it stops, it's over with. But that's the edge of that. Nice and clean. No caffeine. Good enough for me. Mike says he's working while he's watching. Hey, CJ says I just gotta hit it with a quick bit of sandpaper and it'll be golden. Yep, almost. I got this edge, I got this front edge to hit. I'm almost up out of this piece, man. I've almost accomplished something with that. I'm gonna have to pull you off of this pedestal, back onto this one, maybe even back here. Alright, here we go. Look how good that is. When you come to a woodworking channel, that's what you come for, right? That's what I come for. Gotta hit this other corner. Golden goodness. Exactly what you are. Okay. He was up, he was down from the shade. And in the beard, tell you what, if I'm trying to do this freehand, no way is it going this fast. No way are the results this consistent, I don't even get to gauge the results. It's just gonna keep going until it don't, and then once it don't, I know I've gotten my full depth, or full angle at least out of that cut. And now, I'm gonna put it back where it's supposed to be. So I don't flip it through. And then, like DJ Rob G said, throw some sandpaper on that joint. And that's what we're doing. I got probably 100, no, this is a 220. It's a mesh, feels really well. I like this mesh over the paper sandpaper. A lot more. A lot more. And of course, y'all know how I feel about the sandpaper off the belt sand. Those are fantastic. But heavy duty work, heavy lifting, as we say. But I'm just work these ends, and they'll soften up to be less susceptible to chipping and cracking and breaking. And there won't be sharp edges on my bench. This is the wrong height for sharp corners and edges. I'm not going to explain to you why. Parents should have done that. I'm going to take this trash out while I got the door open. We back. Sand net, Robert. Absolutely. So I think I'm good with all of these. I think these were not sand nets. These are Diablos, but I don't know if that's a brand or if that's a. I know Diablo is a brand, but I don't know if sand net is a brand or a company. I don't want to misinform. Oh, that makes me feel good about the workspace right now. Really, really good. What I also think I'm going to do is potentially drill some holes in this thing for holding a couple of extra things that I've been thinking about. Okay. Starving. So I'm gonna run and grab something to eat. Maybe make some more coffee. And then come back to this computador. Oh, CJ, what do you... You're right. You're right. But do we want oil though? We do want this surface. Maybe we want oil on it. I mean, we're going to be working on this thing. Do people put oil on their workbenches? I don't know. That's how new I am to this. I'll rely on the chat. What do y'all say? Do you put oil on your workshop tables? I know some guys put wax on things for, like those tables behind me that I use for, pushing lumber through, just to keep them smooth. But I don't know. Robert says no. It'll contaminate my work piece. It'll soak into baby kisses.
See, this is the dope thing about having live chat and informative people in the chat. These are not just people coming to see how handsome I am. That's laughable for sure. But people that come in here are like-spirited people, and I really appreciate that. I do. CJ says wood by right does, but I can't remember for sure. I think what he does is put a wax on. I think. Again, I don't. But it's good to know. And so I definitely don't want to contaminate work pieces. I don't think I've ever have, prior to now, ever put a finish on a wood surface top that I was working on. But I know some guys do. Wax is quite pretty. It's quite pretty. But you know, I'm kind of a natural guy. I like the look of raw natural wood. I don't know why. But every time I sand anything down to its original skin, so to speak, I'm excited to see it. But I'm not going to hold you up and bore you. I'm running out of ideas for the time being. I'm going to go and eat, clean up a little bit, think if I need to do or want to do anything else here. I had some holes that I was going to put in here, and I can't remember what accessory I was going to use that for. I gotta think about it, but when I get back, we will try it. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. A whole hour and 25 minutes has gone by. Thank you for being around. This is Wes Does It, and I'm up out of this. Peace.